Today's talk's on text mining for compliance documents, and the example that I have in front of me is a little bit over 27,000 audit observations from the FDA. Really what I want you to do is focus on really two columns, is what 21 CFR, what CFR was violated, and then the long description is really the audit observation. From here, you would take something like this, and the interface that I have here is really, we're looking at that text document, the unstructured data, doing a little pre-processing, and then deciding on what we want our output to be. In this particular instance, is the output looks something like this. I started off with the word cloud. Everyone likes a word cloud, and with the word cloud, you see that the big underlying themes is maybe failure to establish a procedure or adequate documentation. Looks like there's some around design, device quality, and even control and investigations. Right below it, you see that if I look at a basic distribution of the frequency of terms, things like procedure, device, and quality, and design, and complaint, investigation are words that show up, high frequent words. I often say that words should be judged by the company that they keep. So why don't I do this? Is why don't I look at a scatter plot of those words, and what you'll see is one big theme here is that didn't stand out earlier with the word cloud was that employee training, employee personnel training was the need identified, and then when was it fulfilled. I also see here that I have the one big thing that I saw before about establishing proper procedures or adequate documentation. I also see that if I'm looking at this, I see that three words are highly correlated corrective and preventive action, which doesn't surprise me, being that a lot of these audit observations may be on someone's CAPA program. I could take this a step further and even do some analytics around words that are correlated by looking at what are called clusters. And if I look at clusters of words, I can see things like proper study. Was there a proper study done? Did you reject incoming? I'll show you a few more clusters, and maybe if I'm looking, here's one. Monitor parameters. Do you have a system in place where you're properly monitoring your process parameters? Do you have a control mechanism in place for that? Reevaluate, rework. Those are two words that I think would also be unexpected or expected to go together. You could also look at if I looked at particular documents. How do documents cluster together? I would expect that documents with similar words would cluster together, and I see it does a really good job. I always say this methodology does a really good job. If I'm looking at the cluster 122, looks like it's the same long description and the same 21 CFR that was broken. I could look at at up here 105. How does 105 look? It looks like same thing, same CFR, and also same long description. It looks like a little bit of difference. It looks like the 50B and 50 were both selected for this. That doesn't surprise me. And really, I want to use this example to show you the utility of the methodology and to motivate the use of text mining, looking at things like product recalls and even product complaints, non-conformances, and even if you're looking at maintenance reports, say preventive corrective action maintenance reports, where if you're collecting the data, how are you analyzing it? And if you are not analyzing it, then why are you collecting it in the first place?